Hey everybody, welcome to Lowdown Keaton Invitational Tournament preview. I'm your host Adam.
And I'm Aaron.
And I am Bryan.
We're going to break down every single round one matchup tonight for you. We'll look at how they've done in past tournaments. We're going to look at how they're doing this year in a head-to-head matchup. We'll break it all down for you, tell you who got buys, how the tournament works, and why you should be excited about the tournament. So without further ado, I want to kick it over to Aaron. He's going to tell you how the tournament works and why you should be excited. Aaron?
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is our...
Let's have fun.
All right, yeah. All right.
Okay, you're setting back too much.
Okay, this is correct. The sixth tournament, right? Or am I off one?
This is the sixth tournament.
Sixth tournament, okay.
You did not do your research. You're fired. Bryan,
sorry.
I need to.
Okay, but anyways, this is our sixth tournament, and this is very similar to last year's style of how the tournament was done, except a little bit of change. How this tournament was set up is that it's a traditional tournament, except we have 14 people with 2 people getting buys. How they were ranked is based off of the past 4 pay-per-views that we have done, which is pretty much this entire season we've had so far. And pretty much it'll be, for the most part, a certain amount of pay-per-views each round that you have to get the most points against your opponent. And if you win the first round, you get 2 points. If you win the second round, you get 3 points. And any person that has a bye will get 5 points if they can win somehow. Last year that didn't work out too well for anybody.
Yeah, we won't talk about that.
He was one of the issues. But anyways, after that, everybody will be on an even playing ground, trying to earn 4 points in the third round if you get that far. And for the championship round, which occurs at WrestleMania.
If you get that far.
If you get that far, you know, who knows?
You'll
get 5 points at WrestleMania. And I think that kind of explains it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, you get total points of 14 points, and again, that goes to a season, which has been pretty beneficial for, I think it helped Nick Brewer when he won the championship. He didn't win the tournament, but he got to all the way to the finals.
Which helped him.
You got second place in the season, right?
Because of the tournament.
So it always helps out. You may not win the championship, the 10-count championship.
It can get you 1 or 2. Yeah. Well, but trust me, the tournament has made it that much closer for people to win it.
You gotta be in it to win it. That's basically.
And that's the whole concept of 10-count is to be in it to win it.
Yeah, because if you're not in it, which you all are, so there's really no point in discussing that. So I don't know what I'm talking about at this point. It's not planned. We're gonna go on. We're gonna start talking about the matchups now.
Hang on. I think Bryan was going. Oh wait,
you stole my line. Yeah, you stole my. I was about to say.
We have wonderful production value here at 10-count. So
you're gonna be fined a couple K for that.
Yeah, you're gonna be on suspension for a while. Yeah. So you might want to get ready to write that nameless block. So yeah, we're gonna continue on now since Aaron
stole Bryan's
the show.
Stole the thunder. So we'll go on to Bryan, and he's going to tell you about our first matchup, 8th and 9th seed, as soon as he gets done with his coach.
All right, well, it's definitely exciting time of the year. Tournament time is back. I love March Madness. However, we have some madness in 10-count right now. And let's get down to break down the first matchup we have, the 8 and 9 seed. Always an interesting matchup in any sport, particularly 10-count. It's very, very toss-up. All these matchups are, but this one especially. We got Jacob, the rookie, taking on Tim Jones in the first round of the 3rd annual Keaton Invitational Tournament. Let me just give you a little bit of background information about the 2 of these,
please,
and break it down. Jacob, like I said, he is in 8th place thus far after 4 pay-per-views. He is a rookie. These rookies have done really well the past few seasons. This is his first tournament as well. He is 14 points behind the leader, Brent Spencer. He has 12 matches right so far this year. And that is all about Jacob since he is a rookie. Not too much about him. Let's go on to Tim Jones. This is his second tournament appearance. Last year he did really well last year. He beat Matt in the first round, beat Josh McNeil in the second round, and then beat Brent in the third round, only to lose to Aaron Scott in the championship. I don't know was it 14-6? It wasn't much.
Very close.
Yeah, really bad WrestleMania for point wise, but he did come up a little short. When you're looking at head to head against these guys, Tim has beat Jacob 3-1 in the first 4 pay-per-views. So what do y'all think about this matchup?
Did he mention where they were ranked at? I don't remember Bryan saying this.
What do you mean like that? You know, he said 8 tonight.
Oh, he did?
He said it twice.
Yeah, I did say it twice.
Man, I'm out of it tonight.
Get out.
You don't want a 3-piece.
Let's go. We're gonna bring in a ringer if you don't watch it. We got 2 ringers.
We got 2 guys in the
back. We will bring them in. Do not.
Okay, well, how about we stick to this for the moment and talk about what we think. I'll let you start.
Okay, I can. I just want to say, guys in the back, start warming up. You're all thin. Okay, but okay, Jacob and Tim. Jacob, to me, if you just look at his picking style, it's kind of been hard to narrow it down. But he's done decent. Me and him were neck and neck at the beginning of the season. Now he's kind of fallen back, and I think it's his rookie season, so it's kind of hard to figure out what he's doing.
Yeah, I think so far we've only got 4 pay-per-views on it, and there's some people we can't even sit there for an entire season trying to figure out how they normally pick.
Ruben and Evan, but we'll talk about them later. At least for me.
Well, Ruben's a rookie too, so
yeah.
Evan, that's a whole other story later on. But yeah, I think overall, basically, you do have a rookie versus somebody who's been in it for a little while and got a little bit in it for a little while. So yeah, I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, I mean, it's a really tight matchup. I think Jacob could actually pull it off.
What about no predictions?
Do what? I'm gonna wait till the end.
I said could, but I have to give a reason for it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. Now Tim, I know when Tim first joined, I was pretty hesitant about how he was going to do, but last season he started off a bit rough, and then he took off. I mean, it was crazy, how he performed.
Yeah, it really was.
You want to throw in any insight there, Bryan?
What about Tim last year?
Tim or Jacob? I haven't said anything about that.
Well, Tim did seem to do pretty well last year. He didn't start off too well, but he did do really well in the tournament. I mean, making it to the championship, that's very hard to do, especially as a rookie. I didn't think he was going to do well when he first come in last year. I think he was like a 12 or 13 seed in the 12 seed in the tournament. Made it all the way to the championship. So who knows what's going to happen? Jacob, a rookie, he's done pretty well. 8 out of 14. That's not bad. Who knows? Only been 4 pay-per-views in. This is going to be a very, very, very entertaining matchup. We'll definitely let you know who we think is going to win later tonight. So stay tuned.
All right. Any last thoughts on that, anybody?
I think basically the way you have to look at it is rookie versus somebody who has been in it for a little while. So
well, this is the second season.
I said a little bit into it. I did say a
You said a little while.
Well, yes, that's why I didn't say entire time or anything. But it is going to be a tight matchup, and I think honestly, who wins here? I have a feeling they could go quite a distance down the road.
You should be lucky Triple H stole Vince McMahon's job and not yours, because you were not on it tonight. Can I just say that? All right, we're gonna send you this back. Moving on. Next up, speaking of Aaron, we're going to talk about 4th and 13th seed matchup. You got Aaron versus his mom, Darlene. Yet again, they've went head to head every single tournament that Darlene and Aaron have been in together. We'll talk about Aaron first. Aaron, this is his 6th tournament, which he's been in all 6 tournaments. He's won 2 of those, including the last one, so kudos, sir. Next up, Darlene, this is her 4th tournament. Okay, so I sometimes wonder if she regrets giving birth to Aaron. Not because of him as a person, all along, because he has beat her not once, not twice, Not 3 times. Oh yeah, 3 times, because this will be a 4th tournament. He has been there all 3 times, right? That's right, 3 times. Yes, 3 times in the tournament. 2 of those have been, I think, in the first round. This last one was, this last review or tournament last year was her best by far. She took out not only Bryan, but me. And then she went head to head with Aaron in round 3. So she was had a great performance going, and Aaron got the better of her in.
And it wasn't by much.
No, it wasn't by much. It was, pretty close. I don't know, it wasn't ridiculously close, but it was close. So I have to say, I was kind of shocked by her performance in the last tournament. Kind of proud, like someone has, kind of grown as a picker. Nothing? Nobody's going to. Okay.
This is a silent equals not good statement.
Really? Okay, then you're. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah,
moving on. Head to head. Not really a lot to talk about there. Aaron has won 3 of the pay-per-views, and the other one they tied it.
When matching up against.
Yes, when you head to
head.
Like I said, head to head. Thanks for listening. Next up.
Oh, no other comments?
Yeah, we could definitely put in a few comments. I would like to say something about mother and son matchup here. And I don't really know how to say this, but Aaron has definitely put a whooping on his mama in many different ways. He just dominated her. Very, very much so dominated her. And I don't know. I always keep saying, is this the year, or is this the time that she's going to beat him? But I think Aaron's going to continue punishing his mom, probably. But we'll see later if we make predictions. I don't know.
All right, my comments here. Trying to avoid all of that. We don't plan for this to happen. We don't plan for certain matchups to happen every year or by coincidence. This one just keeps happening.
You can't plan it.
No, it's like destiny. It's like if
Alberto Del
Rio. Yes, that's where I was going with this. I mean, this just keeps happening. And again, I think it's I don't know. I think I'm just going to go on with the next match unless there's any more comments.
I'm going to go to the back. There seems to be something going on. I'll be back in just a second.
Yeah.
Alright, check that out. We have technical difficulties. I guess my only thoughts. Aaron,
okay.
Yeah, a little bit of thoughts. I mean,
okay.
Aaron, has won, I think, 3 championships now. I think 3 overall championship seasons and 2 tournament wins. Going against Aaron is not a picnic. You never know what you're going to get with Aaron. And honestly, I was pulling for Darlene last season, and I think what is her, I guess her plus is also her minus, in that she a lot of times goes out on limbs and tries for different matches like.
But she does them for a certain reason.
Exactly, but what I was saying, like for example, Edge versus The Undertaker a couple of years ago, was it?
It was Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules in a tables, ladders, and chairs.
Where if Undertaker lost, he would technically retire.
And everybody went with The Undertaker. She went with Edge. She was right. She got the points for that. Everybody thought she was crazy. She is. She was. She still is. But it worked out, and she does stuff like that sometimes. Usually, it doesn't work out as well, but occasionally, it works out. And I think that was kind of the case for her. And I think once she figures out kind of the balance of when should she go with Edge, and the other when she should play it safe and go with Undertaker, kind of like that. I think that's when she finds that good balance. I think that's when it'll be her season, and maybe that's this year.
Come on, Darlene.
Still talking about Darlene.
She's been finishing better since like every year. What did she finish last year? Was she in the top? She was in the top 4 or 5, wasn't she?
No, wasn't in top 4.
She did pretty good though. I want to say.
She did good overall, but I think
I can't recall off the top of my head, but you can check out our stats page. Check that out on wix.com/10count2004/10count homepage. You're welcome.
It's pretty simple enough.
Good plug.
It is. That won't work, Brian, but good thinking though.
Alright.
Alright,
Good
sorry guys.
tip. And you. Oh, okay. Oh.
We like to see ourselves on this.
Yeah.
See the sexy face.
Alright, so I hope you don't mind my foot in the camera. We're going to go on to, now we're going to move on to Aaron's little matchup over here.
Yes.
Do it.
We have
Do it.
5th ranked Evan taking on 12th ranked Brandon, and this is going to be a good one. I mean, just to kind of talk about it here, Evan has been strong, and he's remained strong. So far, he hasn't hit the second year slump.
Sophomore slump, if you will.
Sophomore slump, exactly. And
That could be because he tips me.
maybe, who knows?
Just saying.
But also, you have to look at it this way so far. He has a pay-per-view win this year. In his rookie season, he placed 4th. And he actually has won head-to-head matchups against Brandon. He's won all 4 pay-per-views.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
Evan?
Yes, Evan did. Yeah, all 4 against him. But that's not exactly good for Brandon, but there's one stat that also does help. Last year, he had a bye. He didn't make it past his bye. He lost in his first tactical matchup.
No one made it past their bio last year.
Right. And that really...
Especially this one very special person in there.
And so that really makes it difficult. Well, Brandon, he didn't get past his first round either. But he does have a pretty decent record overall in tournaments. Of getting pretty far ahead.
Is he won?
Very close to winning.
Yeah, he's come so close.
He's been in the finals, I think, twice, if I remember correctly.
I'm telling you, he is the Mark Martin of 10 count. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Sorry, Brandon Martin. Not that I'm saying you're old, Brandon. No.
And you do kind of have this feeling of a veteran versus rookie status almost, because it's Evans, this is second year coming in, and this is their first matchup in a tournament. So, any other comments on that?
I mean, honestly, I don't know who to pick, because you're right. Brandon has been pretty stellar in the tournament. I mean, in the championship, typically, he's usually, I think there's been 1 or 2 seasons, and he's been in every season so far. This is the 8th season. And usually in the season, he's always top 4 or 5. I think once he's been out of the top 4, maybe twice. And the same thing with the tournaments, as you were talking about, he's done very well in the tournaments. Evan, I think he is a strong competitor. What we've seen so far out of Evan, he's, anytime I can remember from last year and this year, looking at it, he's been in the top, 5 or 6 maybe. And last year, I remember him hardly ever falling out of the top 4, maybe a pay-per-view or 2.
And not even getting a pay-per-view win, he still was able to place in 4th.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a very stellar matchup. I think what's been hurting Brandon recently is sometimes, and I don't know if that's happening this season, but I've noticed where he would go out on limbs and pick people. I don't know if it's to try to get points or what, but I think that's kind of put him back to where he's at now in 12th. And, last season I think he was in the same scenario. He was just going after points, trying to get a decent finish, and, I think he lost a few just going for some of the, like, I want to say maybe pick Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. And, I don't know if he did that, but it was stuff like that.
An example would be the challenge the streak.
Yeah, you're right.
Of what he's basically talking about. So, yeah, I kind of have to agree with you. I mean, they're both really good overall, but I think it's just going to be one of those, can in these 3 pay-per-views for this round, can Brandon get those few extra off-the-limb wins to overcome Evan, or can consistency actually still hold out? That is the question I think we have here.
He's going to need help. Somebody help.
Somebody lean on.
Okay.
Thanks
So
for
who's one of the Beatles who lean on me?
So far, y'all have, like almost touched twice tonight. I don't
I was okay. I was quoting Evan. I was doing a little Beatles for Evan because he does on Facebook a lot of Beatles quotes, and I was kind of going for it.
That's
You're
nice.
welcome, Evan.
Yeah.
That was for you, buddy. But you owe me a couple bucks now because I've helped you in the points, obviously, fifth place. Come on now. Alright, so let's move on to BS over here, Bryan.
You didn't give me a chance.
Yeah, what's
to talk
any
about
comments?
yeah, you gotta give me a chance to talk
That's
about
what I
Evan.
said. Let's
Oh,
move
okay.
on.
I thought you were talking about the next matchup we got going on. You know, Evan and Brandon, very interesting. Evan, this is what, second year or
This is second
year? And like you said, you know, he's really been always the top 5 to 6 consistently. Usually never going out of the top 5 or 6, and he's definitely competing pretty well. Last year, I think he finished 3 or 4, I want to say, very well. Brandon, on the other hand, he's been slipping the last few years a little bit, kind of like me. I've been slipping down, and he's still tough though. He's been here since day one. Definitely a veteran, and it's going to be a very, very interesting matchup between the somewhat still rookie to the veteran here. It's pretty interesting. See what happens.
I agree. And, you know, just, I guess something I want to bring up, like, rookies, typically, when we have rookies in Dentown, it seems like a lot of them do very, very well in their first season. I mean, a lot of them finish the top 4 or 5. And so that was kind of what I was interested to see this year was, will Evan keep that up? Can Evan keep that up?
Right, we
So
do.
far it has.
So far, we do have a sophomore slump that does occur with a lot of our rookies, and
But you know,
so far Evan really hasn't been hit by that yet, which
Yes.
is really impressive.
thinking to kind of reverse the psychology here, you take Corey Saunders. You know, he finished last place last year. He was a rookie, and this year he's third place, 1 point behind. Actually, tied for second place, 1 point behind the leader Brent. So, and, you know, he's definitely an exception to the rule. But for the most part, rookies have done pretty well.
Typical.
Right.
True, but I wanted to bring that into
doesn't
life.
apply always.
I wanted to give it an
And that's more of a
example.
great thing for them, for
yeah,
Corey.
Yeah, that kind of. But typically, when you have, you know, Adam Parham, Josh McNeil, I think Mike did well in his first season. Evan, obviously. Me and you won our first season.
Yeah.
Aaron won his first season.
Yeah, I mean,
Nick won his first season. So, you know, that's been pretty well
Yeah.
for rookies. But speaking of rookies, I'm just kidding, there's no rookies in this next matchup.
No.
All right, let's move on to the next matchup we have here. Very interesting matchup we have going on. Man, this is gonna be pretty interesting. We have Corey, the Beast Saunders, taking on Josh J. McNeil in this next matchup here. It's gonna be pretty interesting. Let's break this down for you. Corey, you know, like I said, he was finished last season. In third place right now. This is his second year, second tournament. Last year he was beaten by the man right over here, Aaron Scott. Took him down pretty bad last year. He should have, you know, taken it easy on the rookie, but I don't think Aaron takes it easy on anybody.
Dude, he's went against his mom 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's beat her every time, and he
If
hasn't.
you dominate your mom like that, then I guess you'll dominate
He
anybody.
hasn't apologized to her once.
Wow.
I've asked.
Yeah, wow. Okay, now let's talk about Josh McNeil. This is his third tournament. He is right now 29 points behind the leader in last place right now, 14th seed. But that doesn't mean anything for the tournament. Still anybody's game to take. Head to head, Corey has beat Josh 3-1 so far in 4 pay-per-views. And here's a pretty interesting statistic here for you. Neither Corey or Josh has won a tournament matchup. Corey lost last year to Aaron, and then Josh, I don't know who beat him, but the last 2 he has lost in the first round. I can't remember. I think Tim beat him last. Was it Tim?
He did well.
Yeah, it was Tim that beat him last year.
Yeah, but he did well a couple of tournaments ago. He got to at least the second or third round against
Who?
Will. Josh did.
No, I think Will beat Josh.
What
I think we were looking.
second? Well, I mean, I know he beat him, but I'm saying he got to Will. Wasn't that second round?
I don't think so, but we'll have to look.
Okay, we'll have to look.
We'll have to look about that.
But
That's so, but
yeah,
they can be
you
looked
failed.
up where at, Adam?
Wix.com /10count2004 /10 count homepage.
Yes, sir.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Alright.
Well, okay, so now you gotta talk about Corey, right? Or
We
you
want-
want to talk about Corey?
I've already talked about.
Alright, Aaron, you got any suggestions, any comments?
I think this, normally going into the tournament ranked last is not exactly a great positive momentum. However, I think this is a unique matchup though. Because we have Corey who seems so far to be on a really good streak. Question is, can Corey keep it up versus Josh? Or can Josh pull out enough points to get past the luck of Corey right now?
And if Josh were to, I think, it would definitely help him out in the season because he's, behind the points and he needs those 14 points. That'd be great help for him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with y'all. I think this matchup is really, one of the biggest toss-ups. I mean, this is
Even though it's a 3-14 matchup,
yeah, I think
still
it's anybody's
big
game.
toss-up.
Just
Because
because Corey is new, Josh has been here a while, but he's been having trouble kind of picking his lane and staying in, this is the picks I need to make. And I think he's just confused himself with so many different
picking styles
and strategies. And, I think once he figures it out, maybe, he can do something. And this is just going to be who performs well at SummerSlam, Hell in a Cell, Night of Champions.
Right, and I think this does come back to the theory that everybody has their good times a year. Like, some people, like Bryan, he always tends to do really well at the beginning of the season.
I thought it was the end.
Yeah,
I think it's the
more
end.
or less at the end.
I think it's the end.
More at the
but
end.
okay.
Well, but there's different times of the year where everybody does better.
That's true.
And I think the question is right now, is this Corey's good time of the year? Or is this just maybe something else? Maybe just going along.
Have a good season.
It's a good season, exactly. So I think this is really going to play a matter into this. Like, because a lot of people normally change momentums around SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, and as our only thing to say here is, as our North Carolina history teacher used to say, only time will tell.
Only time will tell, yeah. Let's not talk about him. I got some bad news.
Only time will tell. Did he ever play back after that date? Okay. Okay. All right, Bryan.
Yeah, well, let's do something pretty special. We've never done this before on really a show or a tournament preview show. We're going to bring in two participants who are facing each other, who we just talked about. Guys, come on here right now and let's get this going.
Wasn't gonna have it. Yeah, right there. That camera there. All right. Over here, I have in third place your third seed, Corey.
How y'all doing?
And then over here, I have Josh, 14th seed. Let's go start off with Corey.
Hey, pasa, everybody.
Okay, Josh. All right, let's go start off with Corey.
Well, I'm Corey. I'm currently in third. This is my second season in 10 count. And right now, I'm feeling pretty good about where I stand. And
Where you're sitting.
actually, yeah, I am sitting at them, but I'm in third, and I'm hoping to continue
Okay, I want to ask.
progress.
I want to ask you something. All right, so we talked about Josh's picking style. Quickly, what's your picking style? I mean, I know you're not as familiar with wrestling. So, like, when somebody gives you a name, how do you go? Okay.
Majority of the time, I usually pick the champion, but every now and then, I feel like the underdog should be picked.
Okay.
So I just kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah, I've noticed like some of them where I go, that's ridiculous. Why do you go with that person? And then they win, and I go, okay, maybe I need to start talking to Corey. All right, any trash talk or anything? I mean, anything like that? I didn't mean to interrupt you while ago.
Well, I think y'all said earlier I played Josh in the tournament, and I feel like I'm gonna take him down.
That shouldn't be too hard. He's in last place.
What do you think, Josh?
Well,
Everybody, Josh?
by the way, I'm Josh. This is my 5th season in 10 count, but my 3rd tournament overall. But yes, I'm in last place. I've had some good pay-per-views and some very bad pay-per-views, and I think my luck is going to change this particular tournament, and I'm going to take down the hype, Corey.
We'll see. I don't know.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. So, going against him, are you going to change your picking style? Like, how is that going to change how you pick? Or are you going to say it because he's here?
I'm not going to tell you right now. I'm just going to let my actions speak for myself.
All right, well, gentlemen, thanks for hopping on in here. And be sure to check these two guys out tonight, maybe, on the tag team division
The Hype
show called The Hype, where they would tell you all about our new tag team division. So be sure to check that out about 30 minutes or so after our show goes off the air. Probably about 10 or so.
And it will be live.
And it will be live. So, gentlemen, thanks for joining me, and good luck in the tournament.
And I want to thank y'all for the time that I had on the show, and hopefully I'll come out as a winner this year.
We'll see. All right, thanks, guys. Bryan and Aaron will join me back. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep on trucking. Next up, we have another interesting matchup. We have Matt Rush and Mike Presley, 6 and 11 seed. Mike is your 6th seed, and Matt is your 11th seed. Many of you may remember Mike. He won our Season 7 championship for the 10 count. So we'll go ahead and start off talking about him. This is Mike's 3rd tournament right here. He got number 1 seed in last year's tournament. But as we were talking about earlier, no one took, I guess, advantage of their bye, and so he lost out on his first round, but it was the second round. Matt, on the other hand, this is his 2nd tournament. With Matt, I remember last year, it was me and Bryan doing the show. Matt was a big favorite. I don't know, I think, if I remember correctly, he was a big favorite to do well in the tournament last year.
Pulling out the upset, I
Are you
think.
going to back me up on
Matt,
that?
yeah. Well, he was Matt. He was the 5th seed, or 4th or 5th seed last year.
Yeah, he was doing really well. Like
He
the
was,
First
yeah, it seemed
4,
like-
he had wiped the floor with Tim.
Yeah.
And this was round 1 matchup. It was Tim and Matt. And Matt had wiped the floor with Tim. And then 4 or 3 pay-per-views later, and it was the reverse.
Yeah.
Which goes to show you. So Matt kind of got, you know.
It seems like since then he hasn't done anything. I mean, not really. Matt, I mean, didn't he end up finishing pretty bad last year?
He wasn't the greatest finish in terms of season,
Yeah.
but the tournament-wise, though, this year he has been doing pretty well. He started off rough, but he has gotten, what was it? Didn't he get 100% with you at a pay-per-view? Then he got, I think, like 2nd or 3rd, a good 2nd or 3rd place finish, and I can't remember how he did up Money in the Bank, but I think it was a decent finish. So he's starting to come on strong. He is definitely picking up points. But if you look head-to-head this year with Mike and Matt, to make this strong, more of a harder matchup to predict, they're both 2 and 2. 2 wins and 2 losses apiece. So, gentlemen, good luck. Any thoughts, anything on these two teams?
Oh boy, this is I think probably the closest matchup we have right now, because while Mike is a defending champion and overall, I mean, just really strong as a competitor, Matt's always been so far been the underdog, and this is going to be interesting because Mike isn't doing as swiftly this year, although he's not doing bad whatsoever, points-wise, because I think he's only behind, maximum 5 points, I think, or something like that, if I remember correctly.
For Mike?
Yeah.
I think it's something like that, yeah. It's not much.
Yeah, it's not much, and even 11th place isn't too far behind. And as you said, right now, head-to-head, it's 2-2. And we have gotten past probably our rough pay-per-views, which is Money in the Bank, one of our rough ones, and even the Extreme Rules. It's a little rough. And we do have SummerSlam, which always has been an interesting matchup sometimes. And Night of Champions always been a big point tonight for people. And I think this is a neck and neck going into it.
I think I agree. I don't know. Honestly, I guess if you want to look at, if you look at results, maybe that would lean you more towards Mike. But I think you're right. I mean, this season, if you just look at this season, I don't know. Even though Matt's 11th, I think you still have to kind of look at it and go, this is where he started out as. Didn't do well, but this is where he's going. So I'm with you. I think this is probably one of the. Now I know we said Corey and Josh to me is more of a toss-up. I mean like Mike and Matt. I mean it's anybody's, but to me it's just Corey and Josh is just because Josh hasn't been doing well, Corey's kind of new. He is doing very well points wise, but it's so hard to tell how he's going to do pay-per-view by pay-per-view.
I think Corey and Matt both are under the same situation. They're just so early into their 10-count careers that we can't really sit there and say this person always does constant during this time or during this situations, while this person does this. We don't have that type of data to work off of. We can only work off of one season's worth of information.
Exactly.
So I think that's what really makes this one of a tough matchup. And plus, they both really didn't do as swift last year, but again, maybe they finally got their rhythm going. So who knows?
I think this is a very interesting matchup. I mean, I don't know where to go here. Mike did win last year. Matt's kind of been up and down, more kind of on down slope since the matchup with Tim. I know he finished not really great last year.
Wasn't last, I know that.
No, I'm not sure, but it wasn't last. And this year, he's doing decent, 11th place. It could be a little better, but not too bad.
Well, keep in mind, I forgot this. I want to let y'all know, Matt, Bryan, and Brandon are tied.
Oh yeah, we should probably tell how we do the.
Yeah, they are tied. Okay, so even though Matt's 11th, technically
he's ranked 11th in this.
Yeah,
in season he's in 10th place.
Exactly, he's with Bryan and Brandon. They're both there, but we had to break ties based on one. I think one of the most pay-per-view wins, and if they're tied, which I think they were, then we have to do.
Number of matches, right?
Eventually, the third one is the number of matches, right? And then the second one, and they were tied. So basically, we had to look at how many matches they got right this season. And Bryan won out, and then Matt and Brandon. But yeah, so some of these are ties. Me and Corey, for example, are tied. And only reason I got a bye is because Corey did not get many number of matches correct. And same thing for somebody else. You and Evan, yes.
Yeah.
So there are a couple ties in here. So that's because I remember Bryan and Matt were pretty close. Y'all been working up together.
Yeah.
And I knew that, and I just wanted to make sure everybody knew how well y'all are doing.
Well, that's why we keep saying ranked instead of placed for the most part.
So yeah, keep that in mind that there are several ties in here. So that's why even though Brandon's ranked 12th, he's actually 10th.
Which only adds more to the matchup, saying with Evan and Brandon on how close, a little bit closer, and with Mike and Matt because it's 6th versus 10th in point standing wise, even though he's ranked 11th.
Exactly.
So that really adds a lot more uncertainty to it.
I like that. It's good. I like how you did that.
Thank
I
you.
think you stole that from me, but
Probably, yeah.
You read the diary. But alright, any more comments, concerns, gentlemen?
I think we pretty much covered.
Alrighty. And we have one more first round matchup, and this one is going to be unique. Well, it's going to be a good matchup though. It is Ruben, who's ranked 7th, versus Bryan, who is ranked 10th.
Yeah, baby.
Ouch. That's a good win.
Wow. This right now is already, it's rookie versus veteran. We love these matchups here at 10 Count because the rookies always surprise us for these, don't they? In the long run, I think.
Yeah, and not to kind of fall over your
Like awesome stats and
I don't want to trip all over that, but wasn't it Bryan that was out in the first round against Darlene every year? I think it was.
You mean last tournament?
Yeah, sorry, last tournament. My bad.
No. That is true, but who did Darlene be in the second round of the Keaton?
Yeah, but who made it to the second round? Okay, continue.
Okay, well, that was one thing I did want to bring up, is that Bryan did lose out in the first round, but he also has won a tournament. The inaugural first one.
Yeah, but nobody
I'm
the
at
first one.
So and in past tournaments he has on and off one, but he's overall pretty decent at the tournaments.
Yeah.
And Bryan does have a pay-per-view win this year.
Yeah, baby.
And you're done.
And, yeah, nah, but also we have Ruben. The only reason why Ruben's staying in 7th place is because he missed a pay-per-view. However, yeah, shame Ruben. But here's the one thing you should also note. Before this, he was staying in 2nd place. Or 1st place. Which one was it? He was high. For like all first
Not on
three.
drugs.
No, I'm drunk.
Let's not get
No,
Ruben started.
no.
Let's not get
But for
Ruben
the first
started.
3 pay-per-views, he was staying in the
He
top
was doing
positions.
well. Yeah, he was. I do remember that.
So this may be maybe a little more of a off-kilter match, but also something else you might want to look at is that Ruben has 1 win and 1 tie with Bryan, while Bryan has the other 2 wins. So head-to-head, Bryan's technically winning so far this season. And obviously, since this is Ruben's first time in tournament, this is the first time they've ever matched up. Take your own comments, guys, because this is...
this one, with having rookies in a tournament, you don't know what to expect, and, same with Ruben and Bryan, sometimes you never know with Bryan. Sometimes he's doing well, and other times, it's just not happening for him.
I mean, overall, he's done pretty decent. He doesn't pay-per-view win.
He started, I think
mostly what it was Money in the Bank, which, for the most part, hurt everybody in the long run. Even for the winner, it still hurt them technically, just because of how many matches they got. How many matches you still got wrong, and which was the 2 Money in the Bank matches were still really important matches to try to get.
Yeah, I mean, and I didn't even get those matches right, and I still won the pay-per-view. So it's like, there's stuff like that. But Bryan him and Matt have been working their way up. I think they had a bad pay-per-view at the first one, Extreme Rules, and then since then they've been working their way up. Ruben was up there, and he just kind of dropped back a little bit because he did miss the pay-per-view, which happened.
But he's still a major contendership.
There's no one's really out of it. I don't even think Josh is out of it.
29 points. I mean, that's not that much, really.
No,
10-point match, 13-point matches.
Yeah, and in the tournament you get 14 points, so anybody can.
Yeah.
But Ruben and Bryan, I don't know. I mean, you got veteran who has been doing okay, but not as good as he wants to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ruben who just I don't even know.
If he had picked that Money in the Bank, where would he have been seated at this point? That is, who knows? And that's what really makes us.
And that's the thing. Like look at last year. You can look at Matt and Tim. Matt was dominating all 4 first pay-per-views, and then you go to SummerSlam and Hell in a Cell, and what was the other one?
Probably Night of Champions.
Was it still Night of Champions? They've changed pay-per-view names so many times. And Tim just gets them, and he blows Matt away.
Yeah.
So it's all about the 3 pay-per-views and how you do at them. Like the first 4, really, we're giving you the stats, but they honestly don't matter.
Yeah, you could just, match anybody up, really, and, do a tournament.
Because used to in a tournament, we would do 1 pay-per-view and you're done. You don't get at the end, you're done.
Yeah.
And of course, that happens in the later rounds, but first 2 rounds, you get 3 in the first and 2 in the second. So it gives you a little bit of a balance. But if you don't do well with those reviews, or if you do, or if you do well at those reviews, but you haven't done well the first 4, it doesn't matter. It's all about those 2 reviews, those 2 reviews.
Right, you might shift into the next skier, which is kind of like what my mom did at SummerSlam. She shifted into 2 levels up and got past both you and Bryan in the tournament, and was really doing great in the season on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what had happened was, I remember she did well against Bryan in the first 2 reviews, and I think the third one
I think they were about even, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, and she didn't do it. And then when in round 3, when it was against me, she did very well in the first review.
In round 2?
Yeah, round 2.
Yeah.
She did very well in the first review, but the second one, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't gain points, just,
Resisting joke. You just couldn't perform, could you?
This is a family show.
Oh,
You're done.
Right. Remember Bryan.
You're fired.
Looks like Aaron's the only one that can actually beat Darlene here.
Maybe.
What's up with that?
Maybe it's just the family.
Maybe we need to
Maybe-
beat
maybe-
Darlene's son or something.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Sound like her kryptonite.
Any more comments about Ruben and Bryan? Matchup?
I don't. I mean, that one, I don't even know who I want to pick for that, to be honest with you. I don't know who I want to pick for anybody, but especially Bryan and Ruben. I don't know. I have no more comments.
No comment. Well, I'm not going to say too much since I'm talking about myself, but I do think...
Aaron, did you have anything?
Okay. But, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting facing a rookie here. I don't know. I don't even know what to expect out of myself. I am up and down, I'm down 100%.
See what he did there?
I am,
Okay, stop. Family show.
down 5 minutes. But, anyway, I mean, yeah, you got me off track there. Dang.
I think you're already off the track to begin with.
Yeah. But yeah, I did 100% a couple pay-per-views ago. Last pay-per-view I did not do too well, Money in the Bank. That was...
Money Bank's a whole unique creature on its own, so to a certain degree, honestly, it's almost more comparative to the Royal Rumble, which is in the third round, but we're talking about the first round here still.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Money Bank's you can't almost look at that as a good stat almost to a certain degree, even though it does show a lot of that uniqueness.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I lost last year. I don't know if I've only lost like a couple of times the first round. I think two of the tournaments I've lost in the first round. Brent beat me one time. So I'm trying to turn my luck back around this year and see if I can move on to face Adam, which I faced him quite a few times tournament in the past.
Mm-hmm. And the reason why we say this is because Adam has the second place bye.
Didn't work out well for me last year.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, it worked out for nobody like
I'm
you on
hoping
the bye.
that'll be a repeat this year, except for me.
We'll see. We'll see. And the other person who got the bye, first place bye, he wanted, he just got it. He's in first place. Brent Spencer.
Yeah.
And he will be taking on the winner in the second round of Jacob and Tim.
That is true. And speaking of Jacob and Tim, gentlemen, I think we know what time it is.
I think we did.
Joe Maxwell, thanks.
Yeah. I think
Is it working? Is it working?
I think mine's working. There. Yeah, I think we know what time it is. Let's make our predictions. And actually for this, let's go ahead and bring the guys back out. I feel like they should maybe be a part. They could sit around and just give predictions while we give them. Let them be a little bit a part of the show again. No, you weren't expecting that. We'll go ahead and do that again. So,
Surprise!
And we hear the door slam from the back.
That'll be me.
Keep it down. Alrighty,
All right.
so first off, we're going to start off. Y'all gentlemen had to take a seat there.
Right
Yeah,
there.
you can just move. Well, you can sit there, Josh. Okay, sorry guys. We're going to go ahead and start off with the first matchup. You got Jacob in 8th versus Tim in 9th. And we'll start off.
We'll
Let's let Aaron
start. We'll go around the room here.
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
I'm honestly going to say that rookies have always had some good luck going into these sometimes, so I'm going to have to say Jacob on this first one. And honestly, I think it's going to be a close race though for it.
Okay.
Adam, we'll kind of do a circle here.
Alright, I'm going to have to go with Jacob and Tim. While I do get your idea of a rookie, I'm going to have to go with my man Tim. Don't call me Mike Jones. I'm going to have to go with him. I just think I like his performance, and he's been pretty well. I think last time you didn't do as well as he would liked, but you know what? I think SummerSlam, not a champion. Hell in a Cell, he'll pull it out. So I got to go with Tim on that one.
Yeah.
Well, Dave, kind of have to agree with you here. I think Tim Jones will take it as well. Rookies usually do well, but Tim, he's dominated the matchup, 3-1. Also, he did really well last tournament, making it to the finals of the Invitational. So I think Tim's going to take this one. However, I think it's going to be really close. I think it's going to be really close. I'm gonna say.
So what we need to do is we always say we're going to do this, but we never do this. We need to take record of this, of who we pick.
Yeah, we never do
We
it.
actually need to look at it, and we'll do it on a future lowdown. So if one of you guys, there's a pen on the table. And if one of you guys will write down who we picked, I got your paper right here, man. I got your paper. Okay, you got one. All right. So just write down what we picked. Me and him went with Tim.
Okay. Tim, I was going to go Tim, and was it Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob's the other competitor. For this first.
And you went with Jacob?
Yeah, I did win with Jacob.
And we got 2 for Tim.
We'll put down the names, so that way we can
Oh, I
look
did.
at the future.
I did.
No, I mean Bryan and Adam.
Yeah, who went with
Oh,
what?
Yeah,
okay.
we need to know who won
Yeah.
who, so that way, you know, in the future
We
can
can brag on them later on.
Yes, we can. They can see who was right and who was wrong. Alrighty, so we're waiting on to do that.
We can go ahead and swing it over to Corey.
Here you go.
So what you think about this
You
first round
understand
here,
what I'm
Corey?
talking about there.
Yeah, that works.
Between Tim and Jacob, I know Tim a little bit. I'm not too familiar with Jacob, but
Being a rookie, kind of.
taking a wild guess, I'm gonna say Tim takes it.
Tim?
Right. Over to Mr. McNeil. Going back to Jacob and Tim, I'm not familiar with Jacob. I don't know who he is. So I'm going to have to say,
He's a cool guy.
by the way, thank you there, Mr. Scott. But I'm going to have to go with my man, Mr. Jones, because I was the one that brought him in. So I got to go. But I think it's, like what Bryan said, it's going to be a very, very close matchup.
Alright, so we're going to cooking this up. We got 8 minutes left before we want to get off air, so these guys can prepare for their live show coming up. It'll be on our other channel, not Lowdown, just in case. So we're going to keep on trucking. Next up, we're going to go with Aaron versus Darlene. That's 4th and 13th.
I'll take that one.
We're going to start with these guys first.
Oh,
and then
okay.
we'll jump over to y'all two, alright?
No problem.
So we're going to start with Bryan this time. And we'll get off, Bryan. Go for it.
Well, poor Darlene. You know, you never have luck against Aaron. Sorry, but your luck once again is run out. We're going with Aaron Scott over his mom.
Alright. Aaron?
I think this is going to be
Well,
another
I always
Aaron.
say filling this position because I always have to say this. I think I've got a win on this one. I think I'm going to get the win.
Wow. Talk about
I'm
conceited.
starting to feel like he's cheating over here.
Talk about conceited.
This matchup happens every year. I can't help history books are showing good records for me.
You know,
Honestly, I can pick that.
I gotta be with everybody here. Record speaks for itself. I'm just gonna have to go with Aaron. I think the record speaks for itself. I want to go with Darlene because I think she can pull it out, but she.
I mean,
hasn't
look
done
at
it so
last year.
far.
I mean, it was a really powerful in tournament, but yeah.
Alright, let's go over to Corey.
I think Aaron's gonna take it also.
You think so?
I think Aaron's gonna take it.
Alright, Josh, Booker.
Well, flat out, Miss Scott here. I'm going with upset here.
Alright. Alright, so
I think she's due.
can't argue there. Alright, so next up, mark on my
She needs to
shorts.
be. She
Y'all
needs
see
to
that?
face us if she wants to win. I mean,
Yeah. Alright, so next up, let's go with 5th seed Evan versus 12th seed Brandon. I'll go first this time. Wow.
Yeah.
Just wow.
It's not even a matter of liking one person over the other.
Yeah.
It's just it's a unique matchup.
It's
Yeah.
very unique, guys.
I'm just gonna have to. It's hard because Evan has been doing very well. Just he's been doing pretty well. You know, he's not first, but he's always been up there. Every time we leaderboard, he's all top 4. But Brandon is does really well in the tournament. You know what? I think I'm gonna go with Brandon on this one. I think I'll give it to Brandon. How about Aaron?
Hey, I think this is going to be a good matchup, very close. I'm only seeing like maybe 1 or 2 points maybe separating them in the end. But I think Evan's going to be able to pull up just enough.
So you're going with Evan.
Yes.
Okay, and Bryan.
It's a very tough matchup. However, I'm going to go with the veteran Brandon Martin. I think he's going to pull it out. He does well in tournaments. He seems to. I think last year he did get beat out in the first round, but I think his luck is going to start turning around. I think he's going to beat Aaron. I do.
Alright, so Bryan. Alright, Corey. What do you think, man?
Well, I kind of know Brandon a little bit. I don't know the other guy, but I'm gonna go with Brandon.
Alright.
Brandon, alright, and Josh.
I'm going to break the tie and make it Mr. Barker there.
Alright, Evan.
Alright, so moving on next, we have we've got
Oh,
Corey versus Josh, 3rd and 14th seed.
Going
You know
down.
what? Let's start with the two people involved in it. Let's hear this opinion.
Let's start
Okay.
off with Josh.
Josh, you picked me, right?
Flat out. I know my friend over here, Mr. Saunders, very well. I know I've not had a tournament win, but I would say I'm going to have to edge myself out with a 1 or 2 point victory there.
Alright, so you're going with Josh, yourself.
Yes, of course.
Alright, another conceited person. Corey.
Well, as good as I'm doing so far in the tournament, and as my picks have been, of course I gotta pick myself. I mean, I'd be dumb if I didn't pick myself. But I'll pick myself. There you go.
Hey,
That's how it
we
goes.
gotta have this matchup, guys.
want to
Going
buy,
down.
but you don't have to be conceited.
By the way, we gotta hype this up very much, guys.
Wow. Okay. Alright, we're going to keep moving on. Let's start off with Bryan first this time.
Alright, let me break this one time since they picked themselves here. You know, this is a really good matchup. Corey and J-Mac over here. I don't know, Josh has been here for, this is his 5th year, this is Corey's 2nd. Corey struggled last year, he's doing a whole lot better this year, so I'm going to have to go with my man, Mr. Saunders. I think he's going to take it. But I think it's going to be close.
This is Josh. If I were you, I would not.
By the way, that's for everybody. We got an ex-best friend over here, and Brian.
Alrighty, moving on. Moving on here.
Adam, what are you thinking?
This one is kind of tough, as we were talking about earlier. I honestly plead the 5th on this one.
That's not an option here, my good friend.
Yes, it is. $1.
Hey, Adam, do you want me to kill you for the nice ever?
In that case, I go with Corey. Honestly, I don't know. That one is just going to be who has the best 3 pay-per-views. I gotta go with.
Second thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean that's wow. I don't know.
It's hard, ain't it?
I'm gonna say Josh.
Thank you. You got a new best friend.
Not because I like him.
I know that.
I did. Alright, I gotta go with Josh. Aaron?
Oh my goodness. You know, it won't be SummerSlam that decides this one. It definitely won't be. It won't be Hell in a Cell. It's going to be Night of Champions. And I'm going to say this.
No, I think it will be.
No, I mean like overall, like
Hey.
this is where the points are going to matter the
Oh,
most
okay.
is Night of Champions for this one, for this matchup especially. And I think Corey's going to be able to pull out those few points extra. So I'm going Corey on this one.
Alright, again, guys.
Next up, what do we have left? We got 6th seed Mike versus 11th seed Matt. Let's start with Aaron first.
Matt.
Okay.
Alright.
Honestly, this is a really close matchup. I think Matt's just going to be able to pull out these 1 or 2 points that he needs to win it. Because this one's going to be close. Although we kept saying last year, everything's going to be close. Everything's going to be close. And it was all blowouts mostly. But
Yeah.
I think Matt can pull this one out. And I think he's on the rise, and I think he'll be able to keep rising in points. Which, if he's rising in points, meaning he's probably going to be rising above Mike at some point, possibly.
Okay. Bryan.
Wow, this is a really tough matchup, Mike and Matt. Mike did really well last year. He kind of went one way, and Matt went the other way. So Mike's doing pretty well. I think he's going to take it. I think Mike will beat him, but I think it's going to be close. Definitely Matt can upset him.
Mike, if I remember correctly, has not done well in the first round so far.
You beat him a couple years ago.
Yeah. In a couple, his first one I beat him. And the last one he got the bye, but he didn't take advantage of the bye.
He didn't produce.
I would have actually, of course, Matt didn't do well in his first round either last year. So, but I would have to say, I think Matt is going to keep on the roll. So I have to say Matt. How about we go over to Josh?
Okay. Flat out, Mike. Money Mike.
Money Mike. Alright. Corey?
Because he's money, baby.
I'm
On this one.
gonna take
I hope I
that.
can edit that out. Matt?
Taking that.
Matt. Alrighty.
We're pretty indecisive here.
We are.
Between us.
You said Matt, Corey?
Yeah.
Alright, and our final matchup, our final prediction of the night for round
The
one.
most important one, baby.
Ruben, your 7th seed versus way down in 10th. Bryan Saunders. Let's kick it off with
Yourself.
with myself. Okay. Not really hard. Bryan's not that good. Ruben kind of early to tell. Now, this one, I think as long as Ruben doesn't miss a pay-per-view, I think he can beat Bryan. Now, I said Bryan can beat Ruben, but I gotta go with Ruben. Just because I don't know his
upset
kicking
here.
style. Like,
Yeah.
you know, yours, and I just feel like
This is me, upset here,
I'm
guys.
gonna go with Ruben. I may be wrong about that, but that's just what I feel. Aaron.
Alright. This matchup, I'm also going to go with Ruben also. And the main reason is that even though he missed the pay-per-view, if he can come back and keep up the same performance that he did beforehand, I believe that he can take out Bryan in the tournament.
You know why I think we both went with Ruben?
Bryan sitting next to us?
Well, no. Because when we think of Ruben, we think of sandwiches.
I think of Ruben Stubbs.
That's why I do.
He has all that.
That does come up. But okay. We'll skip Bryan. We'll go to Court.
Well, Ruben does sound like a true competitor, but I gotta go with my man Bryan.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's a winner. That's a winner for me.
Josh.
I do have got one question regarding this matchup. Now, ain't Ruben a rookie in this?
He is a rookie. In that.
Go back to the rookie. They're always done very well, but sorry, Ruben, don't know you well, but I gotta go with my man B. Rye over here.
What's up?
Alright. And
Well-
speaking of B-Rod,
Let me break the tie for y'all guys. Hate to say it, Ruben. I know you're doing pretty well. You're rookie, but I'm on the rise, and I'm sorry, but you've run into a brick wall here. And I got to go with myself. I'm really confident. I think I'm going to take you out. Last year I went with it was me and Darlene. I actually said I thought Darlene would win, and she did. So I was confident enough, so I got to go with myself this year. And I think I'm going to have a second round date with Dr. Davis, sitting right here.
a little uncomfortable.
Hey, I got a good suggestion right
Bryan,
here.
just because you're a brick wall doesn't mean you're probably put together right.
Brick wall.
I am pretty solid, you know.
Hey, Dr. Davis, I want to say maybe we can do a full tournament winner right here. You would like to do that too?
Actually, we're out of time.
Yeah, we are out of time.
Got the plan.
Yeah, we are out of
So
time.
we will actually do a show in the future. We'll look back at these, and we'll probably
Probably do second round
Probably,
analysis.
yeah, we might. Yeah, we'll do second round analysis, and we'll do it then, and then we'll talk about the next few rounds, and we'll actually map out our brackets on round 2 analysis. So be sure to tune in for that, and we'll work that out. That was round 1 for the Keaton Invitational Tournament breakdown. Be sure our next interview is SummerSlam. Be sure to tune in tonight on the 10 Counts Hype channel for all the information you need on the new division, tag team division. So make sure you tune in for that. And we also have blogs we want you to check out, Nameless, Against the Ropes, all those will be coming new ones soon. So until next time, we want to remind you, keep the lowdown on the down.
And by the way, thank you guys for having me.
And me. You might not see me, but I'm here.